Hey everybody, I am coming at you recorded from my deck. So I wanted to come on and do some recording for some tapping videos. And forewarning, it's a little windy. Hopefully this doesn't mess with the sound too much. And I'm more than likely going to hear a rooster or a horse or a dog or something in the background. So that's my disclaimer. So today I wanted to share some tapping around getting motivated to do things. And so I'm working around this limiting belief that it's easier to start things when you know all the steps. It's easier to start things when you know what the plan is. And it doesn't always work out that way. And so we kind of can withhold our action until we feel that we are in a position to start, or we kind of have a generalized security about how things are going to unfold and the results or the outcome of something. So I know this is sometimes really hard for myself. This is where procrastination comes in. I feel doubt and uncertainty. I don't really feel comfortable starting when I don't have a good plan out. I like to wing a lot of things, but sometimes that can also feel a little daunting, like there's too many pieces to the puzzle. And again, it's just that uncertainty and that doubt in myself. And it really kind of sets me up to anticipate disappointment. So if you resonate with that, this should help. And really kind of, we're going to work towards moving and shifting into a more inspiration and moving from a place of curiosity, as well as being flexible with the things. I know that, like I had mentioned, yes, I am pretty good with just going with the flow and just kind of seeing how everything lands. And maybe to a degree that's not always beneficial, because then I'm just winging everything and then I have no idea how anything's going to turn out. And I've like kicked myself for not kind of trying to get a plan going. But I feel right now for personally, and I just thought I would share with this tapping that usually, we plan, we want to have a plan, we want to plan everything down to the T, dot all the I's, cross out all the T's. And it doesn't always, it can stump us and we don't really know how to get started. We can put off doing things because we just don't feel like we've got that plan. So anyway, this is what we're going to work on today. And so if this has been true, if it's true for you right now, or if this has been true for you in the past and you're doing this right now, just ask yourself, take a nice breath, take a second here right now and ask yourself, where do you feel this doubt and uncertainty? Maybe anticipation of disappointment, or you can already feel the disappointment from past experiences kind of creeping in. Where do you feel that in your body? And just taking a second and taking a breath and just allowing that to land and sink and see where that feels, where it feels most physically for you. Sometimes this is harder to do, and if you aren't able to pinpoint anything, don't worry about it. We will, you might feel some shifts in that, and you'll maybe be able to figure that out after. And then the second thing I want you to ask yourself is, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being not at all and 10 being like super highly crazy, how would you rate this feeling of doubt that you have, or this anxiety that you have, or this uncertainty that you have about starting something without having a master plan laid out? Um, so just taking a second there. 0 meaning um, it's not holding you back, and 10 being like it's really, really keeping me from doing what I need to be done. So once you've kind of got that gauge to see where you're at, it will help you to see where you shift throughout the tapping. So it's always kind of an interesting thing to just hold on to in the back of your mind. Even though, you most likely get benefit from from something of this. So we're gonna get going here, but we're just gonna first take a nice breath. Close your eyes if you need to, just to settle in, just to become present with this moment and present with these feelings, just so that you are, you know, leaning in a little bit more, be more fully present so that you can focus in on that shift that you want to make. Often we tend to have one foot in and one foot out when we're doing our work or when we're trying to shift something for ourselves. Sometimes we feel like we're half-assing it and then we get the half-ass results. So just taking a moment here just to settle in. And to just trust whatever comes up. Trust that whatever it is that you need will land and it will be a benefit. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start. If you've never done tapping before, you could just follow along with me on the points. It is probably something that is easier to do in the moment rather than to try to understand which tapping points you have to do in which order. Just follow along with me and just try it out to see how it feels for you. So we're going to start by tapping on the side of our hands here. Just lightly and say, even though I feel uncertain about starting without having all my ducks in a row. That's okay. I love and accept myself anyway. And say, even though I feel anxious about failing, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel a lot of self-doubt because I don't have a plan, and this is holding me back from taking action. That's okay. I love and accept this part of me now. Going to the top of your head now, say, I hate starting before I know what I'm doing. Eyebrow point. It makes me feel uncertain and doubtful of the outcome. I don't like feeling uncertain. Underneath the eye, I feel like I will fail without a plan. Underneath the nose, say, if I don't know what I'm doing, this won't work. Underneath the mouth. So I'm not going to start until I know all the steps. Collarbone point, say, and this might mean I never start at all. Underneath the arms, and that makes me feel like shit. Underneath the chest, so screw it, I'm not going to start it at all. This point, why bother? I shouldn't even try. Top of the head. It'll be a waste of time. Eyebrow points. I'll just fail and everyone will judge me. Side of the eye. It's best just to disregard this because I don't have a plan. Underneath the eye. I'm just going to fail because I don't have a plan. underneath the nose. This makes me feel like crap. Underneath the mouth, all this doubt and uncertainty. Collarbone point. I can feel the sinking feeling in my stomach. Underneath the arms, I can feel the disappointment already. Underneath the chest, why even bother? This point, it's better to be safe than sorry. There's too much to risk when I don't have a plan. There's too much to risk when I don't know what to do to get started. So just taking a nice deep breath in there, just sit with what comes up for you. Just really allow yourself to kind of acknowledge the feelings of like, ugh, how crappy does it feel, or how disappointing does it feel? And hopefully it's starting to shift a little bit, and hopefully you're able to feel a little bit more kind of rebellion against that. But, you know, does it feel better or worse? You know, on a scale of 0 to 10, where would you rate this disappointment, this doubt, this uncertainty, this anxiousness? How would you rate that now? Is it higher or is it lower than when you started? And of course, it may still be there, and you may still feel like throwing in the towel. But like I said, you also may start to not feel as heavy with that, and you may also start to feel like you're pushing against it. Like there's a part of you that's like, well, wait a second, like you're kind of questioning it, and you're kind of rebelling against that part of you that's like ready to just call it quits. So, you know, just really taking a look at where you're at right now. And you know, if you do still feel like you're throwing in the towel, like you want to throw in the towel, and it's really, you feel worse off, I would try that round again and even entertain some of the words for yourself, and just see what if there's different wording that lands better for you. So maybe you're not feeling disappointment, maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. And so kind of, yeah, play with the wording a little bit as much as you need to. So you can stop the recording now, put it back to the beginning of the round, and read you that again if you need that extra little bit. Or if you're curious, you know, if you are, if you're curious about how it might feel to go a little bit further, let's go to round 2. But the other thing that I wanted to point out too is what you're thinking about, is whatever it is that you have to do. Does it feel like it's something that you need to be doing, like you should be, or you're supposed to be doing it? How much do you value what it is that you want to do? Because if it's not something that you want to do, maybe you don't need to do it at all. Maybe you need to scrap it, and maybe somebody else can do it for you, or maybe it just doesn't really need to get done, right? So depending on how much you value it, and how much you're able to delegate, if that's a possibility or if that's available. If it's something that really doesn't light you up, it's not something that is a hell yes for you. But if it does feel, you know, like it's a hell yes, but it's like, ugh, like you get that kind of lump in your throat, like, oh my God, this would be amazing. But, and if it's kind of scary, but also inspiring, let's move into the next round and let's see how things pan out there. So if you're rating this from 0 to 10, if you're a 7 or less, let's move on to the next round. But if you're feeling still like 8, 9, or 10, like you're still like a little bit dug into that doubt or uncertainty, go back and do round 1 again, or move into the next round if it's up to you. Use your discernment there. So let's start with round 2, and just take a nice deep breath in and out. And then start tapping on the side of your wrist again. Doesn't matter which wrist, you can switch it up, or which karate chop point. Doesn't matter, you can switch it all up. So say, even though I'm still feeling uncertain, but I think I might be a little more open to seeing this differently now. And I love and accept myself now. Even though still feeling a bit anxious. I don't really know how things will pan out. Maybe I can release a little bit of that now. Be a little more open to the outcome. And still love and accept all parts of me now. Even though I'm still feeling a little bit down. Maybe I'm ready to see that this doubt is just trying to protect me. Maybe I can soften and be more gentle with myself now. Going to the top of the head. I can see that my doubt and uncertainty are just trying to keep me safe. Eyebrow point. It's trying to protect me from judgment and criticism from myself and others. Side of the eye. It's protecting me from feeling failure. Under the eye. But maybe I can see this in a new light. Underneath the nose. Maybe I can acknowledge this uncertainty and doubt. Underneath the mouth. And then just do the damn thing anyway. Collarbone point. What would it feel like to do something or to start something without holding on to the outcome? Underneath the arm. I've done my research. Underneath the chest. I still feel inspired and lit up about them. This point, so maybe I can let that be enough to get me started. Top of the head, because plans are just guidelines anyway. Eyebrow point. Plans are only a suggestion. Side of the eye. I've had plans change as I go along. Underneath the eye. And those things have worked out. Underneath the nose. And even if they didn't, I know that that was meant to be. Underneath the mouth. I know that something better is going to become available. Collarbone point. But I need to take the first step in order to find out. Underneath the arms, as much as I dislike feeling doubt and uncertainty. Underneath the chest. I don't want to regret missing out on an important, I don't want to miss out on an opportunity. At this point, I don't want to regret missing this opportunity. Top of the head. So right now, eyebrow point. I'm choosing to give myself beginner status. Side of the eye, I'm choosing to be curious and inspired as I go. Underneath the eye, and I'm choosing to see this as an experiment now. Okay. All right, so let's just take a breath if you haven't already. And if you have water, that's a good thing too. I don't have water, but you drink. And just kind of connect to with how you feel about this now. Really just asking yourself, can you see the potential? Can you see the opportunity in being curious and open and just coming at it with an experimental point of view? I think a lot of the time we just hold on so tightly to wanting things to be exactly as we envision them that we forget to work with the magic of spontaneity. You know, the magic of letting things unfold in a way that is maybe not exactly according to your plan, but it shows up and makes whatever it is you're doing even better, right? And so I think we grip a little bit too tightly with a lot of these things, and we procrastinate and hold off on taking action out of this. Yeah, just this needing to be safe, and it's like this fear of failure. So it can be tricky, right? So just I remembering that people are very rarely ready before they begin, and that there's no such thing as a perfect plan or a perfect time. You know, there's no perfect mix of emotions and mindsets that kind of like, you know, you don't always get everything all like perfectly in alignment before you head out or you start something. And you know, there's the book, and a lot of people say like feel the fear and do it anyway, right? And it's hard, and we're never going to take that discomfort out of it completely. But when you start to take action, I have found for me personally that it takes my mind off the anxiety and it gives it a different task. So I really feel like there is, you know, this part of our mind that wants to problem solve, and it wants to analyze and evaluate, and it wants to keep us safe, but it also wants to get the job done in the most beneficial way for ourselves, right? And so if we are not taking action, if we're withholding our action, our mind is going to use its power to try to solve a million different scenarios or a million different hypotheticals, and they don't even really matter because we're not even engaged in the thing that we're doing. We're not even taking action. We're not even in it yet. And so I have found that if I'm anxious about starting something, it is usually because my mind is trying to solve a problem that doesn't even really exist yet. And I need to harness that power of my mind and direct it in a way that is beneficial for me in just getting something started and giving it the task of, you know, problem solving. Okay, I did steps A, B, and now I'm kind of unsure about C, but given A and B, we can kind of figure this out here and we could do this and that. It just gives it a different, it gives your thinking mind a different point of view and a different job to basically work on. And so that's kind of what I have found in the past. Let me know if you resonate with that. And because I can get quite anxious about starting something, especially if I know that there's going to be an outcome that will be, excuse me, seen or be vulnerable to other people. You know, I'm pretty easygoing. I really don't care how a lot of things end up. I feel like done is better than perfect, but only because I've started to see how much I learn in the process of actually getting something done. So the next time I do it, it's, you know, I know how to tweak it. I know what to do with it. But so let's get going. We're going to do one more round here, one more quick round. And this is just to really kind of get the creativity juices flowing, feel a little bit more lit up and inspired about whatever it is that we are going to be going into. And just kind of getting our minds rolling in the right direction. So tapping on the side of the hand. You want to say, even though. I know I'm just trying to protect myself. I'm ready to do the damn thing. And I'm ready to do it well. And I know it's safe for me to try. Even though I still may feel doubt and uncertainty come up. I'm not going to let it stop me. I'll do my best, as I always do. And I choose to put my fear in the back seat. Even though I may come up against judgment and ridicule from myself or others, I know I can give myself the support I need. And I love and accept myself deeply and completely. So we're going to go to the top of the head and say, I'm safe to try this out. Eyebrow point. It's okay not to have all the answers. Side of the eye. It means I'm open to bigger and better ideas. Underneath the eye. It means I know how to handle the fear and doubt. Underneath the nose. I know how to problem solve and get the job done. Underneath the mouth. I know my potential and I know my power. Collarbone point. I'm ready to tap into this now. Under the arms. I'm ready to be curious and open to all the new ideas now. Underneath the chest. I'm ready to get started. Wrist points, and I'm open and ready for all the new and wonderful ways that this will work out for me. All right, so taking a nice deep breath in. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more inspired and a little more empowered and a little bit more lit up about whatever it is that you were thinking about, physically, mentally, emotionally. And hopefully you're ready for whatever you're about to tackle. And I just wanted to say also, just to close, that, you know, it's usually a lot easier than we think it's going to be. Things always kind of turn out how they're supposed to. And so just trust that. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. If you have any questions or comments, any ideas that you would like me to tap on in future videos, please let me know. And I will chat with you guys soon. Bye-bye.